We begin by lighting our candle to remember God's light is with us wherever we are. And it's almost Advent, almost the darkest time of the year, and we hear stories of God's kingdom at this time of year. And this is a story that Jesus told, called a parable. Jesus said, "This is what God's kingdom is like. There was a man who owned land and money and was going on a journey. So he gave some property to his servants to look after while he was gone. He gave 5 coins to one servant and 2 to another and 1 to a third. And these coins were called talents, and that was a kind of money, but it also has a different meaning now, like something you're good at or something that you're learning to do. So maybe this story about talents has a few different meanings. Most parables do. Most parables have lots of different meanings that we can wonder about and figure out. And so the man gave the talents to his servants, and then he left on his journey. And the servant who had been given 5 talents went and traded those talents, maybe buying things to sell. And that servant got back the 5 talents from selling things and also made 5 more talents from the things that this servant had sold and traded. And the second servant, the one with 2 talents, went off and spent their 2 talents as well. Maybe they became a farmer or a gardener. The story doesn't say, so we can use our imaginations. And they got back the 2 talents they'd spent, and they also made 2 more. And the third servant took the 1 talent they had been given and buried it in the ground so that nothing could happen to it. And after a while, the owner came back and said, "Show me what you've done with the talents I gave you while I've been gone." And the first servant said, "Well, I went out and I traded and I made 5 more talents, so now I have 10. And the landowner said, "Well done. You will be given more responsibility because you have shown you can be faithful with what I give you." And the second servant said, "Look, I took the 2 talents that you've given me and I made 2 more. And the landowner said, "Well done. You have also shown that you can be faithful with what I give you. You will be given more responsibility and more trust." And the third servant said, "Look, here is the talent that you gave me. I was so afraid that you would be upset with me if I didn't do well enough, that I didn't do anything. I didn't even try. I did nothing with the talent you gave me. I buried it in the ground. So here it is. It's exactly what you gave me to start with." And the landowner said, "You foolish servant. Why did you bury the talent I gave you in the ground? Even if you had just put it in the bank, it would have earned interest while I was gone, and it would have grown and become more. You have shown that you cannot be faithful with what I give you. So the talent that I gave you will now go to someone else. I don't care how little you start with or how little you make from it. I just care that you don't bury it and hide it away and waste what I give you for nothing. And the people who heard Jesus tell this story wondered about what it meant and about what he had said. And now we can wonder as well. And you can pause the video to wonder with the people that you're with. And remember, there are no right or wrong answers to wondering questions. I wonder what your favourite part of this story was. I wonder what the most important part of this story is. I wonder what part of this story is for you. I wonder if you could take out any part of this story and still have all the story that you need. I wonder why the third servant chose to bury the talent instead of try to do something with it. I wonder if you have any questions or thoughts about this story. I wonder if there's anything in your house that you would like to use to make something or play with this story. And we can keep wondering throughout the week. But for now, our story is finished.